Stay tuned.
Hello fellow Libra, my name's I'll be live streaming your August. Well, what a month we've all had after Mercury retrograde, 2 eclipses, all manner of things, 2 new moons if you're in the northern hemisphere, but in the southern hemisphere we're going to have the 2 new moons this month in August. Ooh, something just happened then, there was some strange noise. So these new moons are called black moons. So you know, full moon you have 2 full moons in opened, being released, new starts and new beginnings. So okay, so we should be able to move forward a bit more easily than in July, because on the 1st Mercury is turning retrograde, and you know, if you've been involved with technology, had issues with travel, contracts, miscommunications, you know, confusion, that sort of thing going on, that should start to clear up after the 1st. But do remember that there are 5 days of what's called a shadow period, which will take you up to the 5th or the 6th of the month, when the energy of Mercury retrograde is still there, but it's coming off. It's getting less and less every day. So if you have anything that's particularly important, leave it until, you know, after the 5th if you possibly can. I can't wait actually, because so many things have happened with my technology, it's unbelievable. So I'm looking forward to you know, Mercury turning direct and getting on and getting stuff done without any sort of you know, problem basically. Alright, so 12th sees Mercury joining the Sun, Venus and Mars in our 11th house. And the 11th house is all about associations, groups, networking and friends. And with Mercury going in there, we could find that we're particularly busy socialising. There's lots of messages and communications going back and forth between you know, different groups of friends. And it may be that we join some more busy as the month proceeds. It's all about social August. And if you're in the northern hemisphere, that will be the end of your summer, and down here in the southern hemisphere it's the end of our winter. So of course we'll be feeling more active, you know, as spring is coming or as autumn is coming if you're in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so the 5th house on the 15th sees a full moon entering the 5th house, which is all about changes basically. The full moon brings 5th house leisure and pleasure. We might even feel closer to the world of the child, and so we want to have more fun. And perhaps we need to ask ourselves, you know, have we been a bit sort of stuck in the mud recently, and it's time to get out and have fun. 5th house also is great for meeting all sorts of people, including potential romantic partners. It could be sort of like a young love type of feeling. It's like the Ace of Cups in the tarot. There's this sort of sense of young love, new beginnings around romantic relationships. So very promising month for us. One thing we do need to be very careful of, and that is overthinking. So, you know, as air signs, we think a lot, and sometimes we do overdo it. It can be that our thoughts just go round and round in circles, and even to the point of affecting sleep with racing thoughts as we try to work things out, you know, what to do about certain circumstances, you know. So just don't get caught in that trap of overthinking things. And I know I'm just as guilty as anybody else, because I sit there and ruminate over my thoughts, you know, and you can just go round and round in circles like that. Now after the 19th, there's also a lot happening in our 12th house. So this is really a time of inner reflection and self-development, and it's really great about astrology anything to do with self-healing, any sort of metaphysical subject at all. It's a really great time because we have the Mars in the 12th house on the 19th. We have Venus on the 22nd in the 12th house. We have the Sun on the 24th in the 12th house. And finally, the 30th sees a new moon in the 12th house. So much activity going on there, so much energy. So I just want to talk briefly about the 12th house. It's a bit of a strange kind of place because it's the house of the subconscious, and it's also the house of the goddess, or the house of the divine. And it doesn't work like our brains think. It has its own intelligence and its own logic. And so it's like learning a new language going down there into the 12th house. And everybody's language is different too because it's personal to you. So you have to learn what your own feelings and what your own symbols, if you're clairvoyant in any way, you may see symbols and you have to learn what they mean. And that takes time and a bit of energy and effort, obviously. So it's not a logical place in the way that we normally think of logic, and yet it has its own intelligence. So it's an amazing place. It's an exciting place to go down there. I love it because it's like going to the pictures every night, going to the movies every night and watching this new story. So, I think it's fabulous. But with Mars there's motivation, what goes on down there in the 12th house. We've got Venus there, that's harmony and peace. And, you can be without a care in the world, thanks to Venus. Sun gives awareness and even happiness. You could just be completely content just sitting out in the sun doing nothing. And if you can do that, to really getting in contact with what's going on deep down within yourself. And the 30th name before, if you're in Australia and New Zealand, that's the second moon, the second black moon for the month. So new moon starts and new beginnings. And so it should be a happier month. It should be, a lot more feelings of contentment and harmony, but still new beginnings. So there's a level of excitement there for us Librans. Okay, so I'll just close my eyes now, see, and as soon as I do, I've got bars of gold in front of me. So they're saying it's like a very precious time for us, and we should make the most of it and really, don't waste time watching TV all the time, or, doing things that are of no consequence. It's more important just to go within, try and meditate every day, even if you say you don't have time, 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. It doesn't take much, to go down and find out what's going on. But they're showing me like treasure chests, so I can just see all these treasure chests in a row and full of coins and jewelry and all sorts of things. Lots of treasure down there in the subconscious, for us to find. And when we find that, it's really valuable, and we can feel like we're wealthy in some regard. And yes, it may actually lead to, wealth in terms of money, but more importantly, it leads to spiritual wealth, okay? And the ability to use your own talents, the talents that are within. So you may find yourself going off in a slightly different direction in terms of your creativity, because it really boosts creativity. Alrighty, let's have a look at some cards, lovely Librans, and see what we can see. I've got the tarot cards here in front of me, which I shuffled before, and one jumps out, and it is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so this is exactly what I was just saying 1 moment ago. The aces are all about new beginnings, and pentacles are physical things, and they usually refer to money. And so this could be the start of new ways to make money, just by going down in your subconscious and spending time and seeing what comes out. Okay, so great ideas for making money. If you've got a new business, it's fantastic for promotion or marketing. Working out things that nobody's done before, or maybe taking something that already exists but you put your own spin on it, so it's a completely new idea, something that you haven't done before. but it's got your flavour on it, okay? Your branding, your logo, and your unique ideas about how you can make it better. So not just money, but often money. So might be some other things, but yeah, this is great. A really good card. I'm pleased to get that. Okay, so let's have a look now at the psychological cards. And we have the outer and the inner cards of the psychological cards. Okay, and this one, oh, now it says erotic. So it's got a couple of different meanings. Okay, it's obviously got the sexual meaning, but in terms of spirituality, erotic means the attraction of energy and bringing things together. Okay, let's see what goes with that. Okay, now I'm looking at the inner card. Shuffle them up. I shuffled them before, actually. Ooh. Okay, I've got goosebumps. I know what this means. But I want you to have a look. Okay, now you see the board. Okay, teacher, teaching others. Okay, what do you think that means? It's about us to teach. We might decide that we do it in a new way, or in some other way that's 1950s stand in front of a class. Thank you so much for joining in, lovely Librans. Have a great month. Now you know your birthday is coming up, so we're at the end of the cycle when things move, planets move from the 12th house into the first house. So from the 23rd of September we'll be in our sign, so in the first house. So in the meantime, get ready for that by letting go of anything that doesn't serve you, because we're starting a brand new year very shortly. But have a beautiful month, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, comment, and share it with your friends, or share it on your channel. That'd be fantastic if you could do that. And don't forget to click the notification bell. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.